All right, tile friends. Welcome back to a shorter interview with my friend Greg. How are you, Greg?
I'm doing well, Luke.
Good, good. Well, I've been meaning to interview you. I'm glad we're finally, getting to chat a little bit. And the reason I really asked you to be on today's show, as you know, is to talk about Total Solutions Plus. But I do want to give you a minute for those of my audience who don't know you to kind of explain who you are, your time in the industry, what you specialize in, and where you're located. And I thought I would just get that started by talking about your business card here. And your business card is one of my favorite, business cards I've ever been handed by a tile contractor. I mean, first of all, on it you have your signature, living the dream. You're very enthusiastic and happy all the time. And then on the back, you got 7 tips for finding a great tile contractor. I really like this. It kind of speaks to your confidence because you're somebody who's been in the area for a while. 1, get references from owners. 2, ask to see similar work in person. I mean, you're not going to be starting it off if you don't know that your clients, you at least probably have half a dozen clients that would open their homes, and show the work, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I actually found that was one of the first NTCA events I went to. Can't remember which one, but I met somebody who had that on their cards. And for the life of
Okay.
me, I don't remember who it was. And I said, "Hey, can I adopt that?" And they're like, "Go for it."
Heck
And that
yeah.
was probably
Heck
about
yeah.
10 or 12 years ago.
That's great. Well, hopefully other people, when they meet you, I'm not going to go through all 7, but when you meet Greg at one of the tile events, and why don't you introduce yourself a little bit and tell us, how you got in the industry and kind of what you're specializing in now over there in Jacksonville area, right?
Yeah, yeah. I live at Jacksonville Beach, Florida. My name's Greg Michael's Custom Tile, and I specialize in residential remodel. And I've downsized my company since the pandemic hit a few years ago. And I wish I'd have done it 10 years ago. I love it.
Nice. So
I've been in the industry.
how large was your company?
I had 10 guys was the biggest I ever got.
Gotcha.
And that was a lot of stress, as you know. And now I'm back down to myself, and I love it. I work with some subs that I've known for years, and I love it. I have no stress. I do 1 or 2 jobs at a time. I don't have a lot on my plate, and that's a very good blessing with my wife's health issues. So
Nice, nice. Well, with time spent investing in the industry, learning, the trade as well as the business end, that is one of the benefits. A lot of people might be in a hurry to do really good work or charge, prices that someone like yourself can charge. But the fact of the matter is sometimes you got to put the time in. And the benefit is, you stuck around and created a great referral network, I'm sure, of people. And I will say, I did want to say, on the bottom of your card, you say, don't risk your investment to an untrained installers who can't meet these criteria. I love the way you worded that. And this is something I actually spoke about in the university. We should start referring to the price as an investment, because that's really what it is. Their whole house. People think about their house as an investment.
right.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's jump into Total Solutions Plus, because you're somebody who's been to a lot of different trade shows, and I remember meeting you. I don't know where we met, but I remember we kind of solidified the friendship at a Total Solutions Plus, and I'll never forget it. And you're just so enthusiastic. I thought, you know what? I want to promote Total Solutions Plus. I'm calling Greg.
Well, that's awesome. I appreciate it. I think it was Nashville a few years ago,
Yep,
I
could have been.
believe. Yeah. I don't know. They all blend together after a few years.
Right, right. And so this year it's on Indian Wells. Have you been to the Indian Wells location out in California?
I have been, yes.
Pretty
Yeah,
nice
it's a
spot, I
great
hear.
Palm Springs is a great spot. There's so much to do outside the convention, and the committee does a good job putting together activities for spouses and whatever you want to do. It's pretty awesome.
So it's like you can that's what I love about it is a lot of spouses come, a lot of people make it into a working, business write-off plus a little vacation. I mean, it's November 6th through the 8th this year in Indian Wells, California. And I'll put the link in the show notes for anybody wanting to learn more, but it's a beautiful location, beautiful time of year to get away from the Midwest or the Northeast or something like that and get to California.
Yeah, it is. It's a great location. Last time I went there, I met my dad who lives up in Seattle, and we spent the day up at Joshua Tree National Forest or Park or whatever it is. That was pretty cool. I'd never been there. So
Yeah, that's a really incredible area for sure.
yeah, it is.
So tell us about what are some of the specifics, what kind of environment and what can people expect to be kind of taking away from this event?
Well, I think what I like most about the event, coverings is great, you know, that they do in Orlando and sometimes Chicago and whatever, but it's so big, it's hard to get personal time with different people in the industry. And TSP, when I started going, I missed the first year because I didn't know about it. And then I went to Naples, I believe, the second year, and there were maybe, I want to say there were 350, maybe 400 people max. And that's when I really got to meet some of the people in our industry, the manufacturers and distributors, and really get to know them a little bit on a personal level. And just having their contact in the industry, that you can meet so many people who know what they're doing, are passionate about our industry. And it's refreshing because when you're out in the field by yourself all the time, it gets discouraging because you think you're beating the head against the wall trying to do things right. Nobody else is, but there's a lot of people in the industry that are just as passionate.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to do, is to connect with like-minded individuals. And
Mhm.
I'm with you. I mean, as when I experienced it for the first time, I was like, this is the place for the business owner. And it is something that I think every tile contractor needs to go to at least one time, you know. But in reality, it is the business center, the annual business convention for tile contractors. And so you have this condensed version of people who have all paid, by the way. And so paying might sound alarming to some of you listening, but the thing that you get with people paying is they all came there for a purpose, and they're all
Right.
intent on bettering themselves as well as investing in themselves, and they're invested in you, really. I mean, they understand that you also paid, and so now they're going to look at you different than somebody who maybe just wanted to go to Las Vegas because it's Las Vegas.
Right. Right. Yeah, I would agree. I think it's the best one of the year out of all the tile related conventions. Just because it's a little more intimate.
So as a small business, or truly small business artisan like yourself, you know, what do you take away that improves your business beyond, you know, the relationships? Do you find yourself attracted to different seminars or?
Oh yeah, there's always not really hands on, but there's different methods that are changing in our industry, and there's different takeaways from different classes and during the convention, and just a small business even. Um, One, I'm not real good at social media, and every time you go, there's every other time, whatever, there's something on social media that can help you if you're into that. I'm kind of not into it as much as I should be, and I think that's simply one, a function of my age. I've been in the industry 39 years now, and
Mhm.
I'm on the retirement end of it, and I'm not really interested in, really promoting myself as much as some of the younger guys out there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It does. Yeah, I love so there's typically breakouts, and I think they'll have two or three different tracks running simultaneously all day, at least two. And the way I see them designed is one to attract more of maybe commercial, and then one more residential. It seems like they do a really good job of making sure that you don't want to be at both places at once. Do you?
Yeah, yeah, and actually, it's very nice at TSP because they do make it user friendly for a smaller business like mine. It's not some of the conventions you go to. It's mainly commercial type
Mhm.
environment and classes and that kind of thing. But this is geared more to both, as you said. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's a
I
nice
thought
variety.
I thought that was excellent too. And I know I was looking at this year, and this is a good, I mean, every year is good, but they've got a great lineup. I mean, they're going to be, of course, talking about gauged porcelain panels a lot. You know, it's really a trend that cannot be denied, you know, and it's not even a trend. It's just the way the way things are going, right?
Right, right,
Yeah. Yeah, which I guess is a trend. But I mean, it's not like it's going to go away. You know, trends come and
right.
go, and I feel like this one's here. I mean, we've been going. You know, you started 39 years ago. What was the largest tile size? A 6x6 maybe back then, or a
8x8 was
eight
probably
by
the
eight?
largest, and then 12x12 came in, and we were like, "Oh man, we could slap this down quick, and make some money." And we thought that was large, and now it's like when I do a 12 by 12, it's like amazing.
It feels tiny.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see here, and I was gonna mention too. So it is. I think there's usually like maybe a dress code or something, but they always throw some really good entertainment in. And last year in Jacksonville, your hometown, we had this character running around for. This was the last night. They always have a nice evening, and I think they did a costume, some sort of costume, and it was. It was either Hawaii or like a Florida costume. And here, our friend Josh really kind of won. I think he won the costume show that night. So I just wanted to highlight that to, let people know that, look, it's all business, but there's a lot of people. There's a good environment for relaxing with one another too.
Definitely, there's a lot of time to have a good time in between doing, the business side of it and going to the seminars and the breakouts and stuff, and listening to the talks. But yeah, it's a nice venue to have both, a good mix of both.
Absolutely. I always say mix business with pleasure. Business is all about relationships. And the fact of the matter is we have a small tile community, really a family, and the thing about it is, even for the smallest business owners, get to this event, meet other small business owners like yourself. Like Greg said, you're going to form a bond. And it's nice to know that people on the other side of the country are facing similar challenges. And also, you share your wins. And
Right.
then what I also love to do is meet people on the other end of the spectrum. It's only at this show that you can network with some of the best and the most successful small contractors like Greg, as well as some of the largest, and they're all in one spot, condensed, and it's great for networking and making connections and really forming a bond. And my advice, and I'd like to wrap it up with your top one to maybe a few different things you can say for people new to trade shows. My advice is to come with a plan. If there's people in the industry you want to meet, name them, list them, and make sure you meet them. Make sure you come prepared to actually take away as much as you can. If you're investing in going to a show like Total Solutions Plus, even with some of the free ones like coverings and whatnot in April in Orlando, come with a plan to take, understand what you're going to take away, and then, give as much as you take as well. Do you have any tips for people, maybe first timers to Total Solutions Plus, Greg?
Yeah, I think what I did the first time is there's a list of attendees, and you can kind of get to look at them through Facebook or whatever, LinkedIn, I guess they did a while back, and you can get to kind of not meet people, but you can get familiar with them a little bit before. And if it's somebody you want to pick their brain a little bit about, like you said, you can. I mean, I've met some good people in the industry, and some of these guys, are the big commercial contractors. They're guys just like us, and they go through the same problems, just on a bigger scale. That's all it is. And
That's
I'll
all it
tell you,
is.
I've got several friends in the NTCA since I've joined, and one in particular that is another fellow 5-star contractor, Anthony Jung. He's in Victoria, Texas, and he has become one of my best friends I've ever had over the past few years, and that to me is valuable.
Yeah, and you are, and I remember meeting Anthony. You introduced him to me, and you guys, you are like brothers almost, in the way I saw it, just because of your fast bond. And I'm glad you brought up that you're a 5-star too. You're probably one of the smallest 5-star contractors, right?
Yeah, I think there's a couple other guys that are one man shows as
A
well,
handful of
but
you.
yeah, I'm one of the smaller ones,
Nice.
and I've been a 5-star for. I'm trying to remember, but I want to say it was right after it first started. I think it's been about 10 years. I'd have to ask Bart. I don't remember, but it's been a great group to learn from. It really has.
Nice. Yeah, and I appreciate you bringing that up because that's something unique to highlight. A lot of times companies might think that 5 stars for big companies. It can't do anything for me, but that probably couldn't you'd probably have a few, you'd probably say the opposite.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely helped my small business. If nothing else, it's changed the clientele that I get, and
Nice.
that's key. It's the clientele you get. There are people out there who are willing to pay for somebody who knows what they're doing and who's dependable and reliable and active in the industry. I mean, that's not to say there's a lot of, there's a lot of $2 a foot guys out there, but those aren't my clients.
Right, right. Well, Greg, this has been great. Thank you for joining me to highlight Total Solutions Plus, and we do want to get you on a full hour. No doubt you have a lot to offer my audience. So in the future here, maybe in November when I'm back from Texas and back in the studio, maybe we can schedule something if you're willing.
Sure, anytime if I can help
available.
out. Yeah, if I can help out any way, you know how to get a hold of me.
I do, Greg. All right. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your weekend coming up.
All right, my friend, stay safe.